Thursday, 10th of April 2014, and we're heading through to Kelso to catch a bit of UP action. But shortly after setting off from Ludlow along Highway 66, we see through the desert simmering heat these two GEC 44-9CWs approaching us heading a consist of tank wagons. More commonly known as Dash 9s, and certainly less of a mouthful, the Dash 9 is a General Electric 4,400 horsepower 6-axle diesel locomotive. Close to about 3,500 were built between 1993 and 2004, and most are still currently in service on most US and North American Class 1 railroads, while BNSF and Norfolk Southern have the two largest fleets.
He's watching the choo-choo. He's watching the train.
Watching the trains go by. Watching the trains go by. Wish I had the ticket that I can't afford. Hear that old conductor holler, all aboard. Wonder how this world looks outside of picture books. Rocky Mountains, rolling plains, desert skies, passing before my eyes. When the whistle blows, toot, 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 the engine goes chug, chug, and I hear that bell go clang, 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 and my heart does a tug, tug, tug. Watching the trains go by, I'm just a small town guy, wishing I could hurry up and start to pack, grab my gal and hop the train and not come back. Instead of that, I'm sitting by the railroad track, watching the trains go by, watching the trains go by.
There's a choo-choo coming down the track. I can almost see its smoky stack, but it ain't no use to lack. Yes, I'll always be here watching the trains go by.
Stop it.
Watching the trains go by.
How I love to hop it. Wish I had a ticket that I can't afford. Hear that old conductor holler, yes, all aboard.
I often wonder how this world looks.
Like to see some traffic
outside of picture books.
Outside the National Geographic, Rocky Mountains, rolling plains, and desert skies, passing before my eyes. When the whistle blows, the engine goes, and I hear that bell go, and my heart does a tug, tug, tug. I'm watching the trains go by. I'm just a small town guy, wishing I could hurry up and start to pack, grab my gal and hop the train and not come back. Instead of that, I'm sitting by the railroad track, watching the train go by. Watching the trains go by.
I'm watching the trains go by.
Watching the trains go by.
I'm watching the trains go by. Watching the trains go by.
Upon our arrival at Kelso, we are greeted by UP numbers 5691-8 and 7334 and AC 4400 CW, passing through, heading west with a mixture of piggyback and double stack wagons. Kelso, a ghost town, and now a memory of the numerous depots that were required in the golden age of steam. It was named after railroad worker John H. Kelso, whose name was placed into a hat along with two other workers to decide the name of the town. Built in 1905, specifically as a railroad station along the railway line between Utah and Los Angeles, it was originally called Siding 16 because of its location in nearby springs that provided abundant water. Kelso was a base of operations for the San Pedro, Los Angeles, and Salt Lake Railroad, connecting track of Union Pacific Railroad, to which the SPLA and SL had negotiated trackage rights. Here trains were watered and helper locomotives were attached to assist the regular trains in climbing the steep Cima Hill. The distance between Las Vegas and the connection with the Santa Fe line at Daggett was too far for trains with the meal car, so Kelso was a convenient spot for a restaurant stop. The depot building itself was built in 1923 using a Spanish Californian mission building style. It contained boarding rooms for railroad employees and a restaurant for both employees and passengers. It also had a telegraph office and waiting room. Later, a restaurant nicknamed the Beanery that served home-style meals was housed in the building. The large rooms in the basement also served as a community centre for local residents. The depot remained in operation until 1986. While looking around Kelso, a Union Pacific mixed manifest roared past, heading east, and the climb up Cima Hill. Triple-headed by UP numbers 7263, a C44AC, and number 5132, an SD70M, and 7471, a C45ACCTE. Panic for the car and a race up the Kelso Cima Road to beat her to the top of the hill. Success.
This train don't carry no gamblers, this train. This train don't carry no gamblers, this train. This train don't carry no gamblers, no crap shooters, no midnight ramblers, this train. Don't carry no gamblers, this train. This train don't carry no jokers, well, this train. This train don't carry no jokers, well, this train. This train don't carry no jokers, no hot-toned women, no cigar smokers, well, this train don't carry no jokers, well, this train. This train don't carry my mother, well, this train. This train don't carry my mother, well, this train. This train don't carry my mother, my father, my sister, and my brother. This train don't carry my mother, well, this train. This train, she's bound for glory, well, this train. This train, she's bound for glory, well, this train. This train, she's bound for glory, well, this train. This train, she's bound for glory, well, this train. This train, she's bound for glory. If you want to get to heaven, well, you've got to be holy. This train, she's bound for glory, well, this train.
Oh, them big wheels are turning, going somewhere, and they're carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, thought I'd die. Love was just a game to me, I thought I'd never cry. I thought she'd be the loser, but standing here am I, and that long train is rolling, going somewhere, and is carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, thought I'd die.
something that I have never had. But I learned the hard way, didn't know it hurt so bad. And them big wheels are turning, going somewhere, and they're carrying her away from my side.
Yes, he cried, thought he died.
This burning love unwanted, this love that never dies, keeps right on hurting no matter how I try. And that old rock is rolling, going somewhere, and it's carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, thought I died. Many years I've fooled around and many years I've lied. I'd always be leaving with that suitcase by my side. But that big engine rolling, going somewhere, and it's carrying her away from my side. Yes, I cried, thought I died. Yes, I cried, thought I died. Yes, I cried.
A lonely spot I know where no man will go, where the shadows have all the room. I was riding free on the old SV, humming a southern tune, when a man came along, made me hush my song, kicked me off away out there. As she pulled out of sight, I turned to the right, the left, and everywhere. But all I could see was a cactus tree and a prairie dog playing there. I watched a prairie dog feed on a tumbleweed, that's his home away out there. So I threw down my load in the desert road, rested my weary legs too. I watched the sinking sun make the cold shadows run out across that barren plain. Then I hummed a tune to the rising moon, he gets lonesome way out there. So I closed my eyes to the starlit skies, lost myself in dreams. I dreamed the desert sand was a milk and honey land. Then I woke up with the stars. There's a train coming back on that one-way track, gonna take me away from here. As she was passing by, I caught her on the fly. I climbed in an open door. Then I turned around to that desert ground, saw the spot I would see no more. As I was riding away, I heard the pale moon say, farewell, pal, it sure gets lonesome here.
Once upon a time there was an engineer, drove a locomotive both far and near, accompanied by a monkey that sit on the stool, watching everything that the engineer moved. One day the engineer wanted a bite to eat, left the monkey sitting on the driver's seat. Monkey pulled the throttle, locomotive jumped the gun, and made 90 miles an hour on the main line run. Well, the big locomotive vanished just in time. The big locomotive coming down the line. Big locomotive number 99 left the engineer with a worried mind. Began to call dispatcher on the phone, tell him all about a locomotive was gone. Get on the wire, start dispatching them right, cause the monkey got the main line sewed up tight. Switch operator got the message on time. The northbound limited on the same main line. Open the switch, gonna let him in the hole, cause the monkey got the locomotive under control. Well, the big locomotive vanished just in time. The big locomotive coming down the line. Big locomotive number 99 left the engineer with a worried mind. Big locomotive, oh, the big locomotive coming down the line. Big locomotive number 99 left the engineer with a worried mind. Left the engineer with the worried mind. Left the engineer with the worried mind.
In the station, you'll be waiting by the track. You're having trouble sleeping nights. You want me to come back, but that old train will roll on by. You know I never came, 'cause I sleep good and miss a lot of trains. I sleep good and I miss a lot of trains. That one-way track, you know, man.
Heading towards Ludlow, we caught up with action around Ash Hill.
I used to lie awake like you, calling out your name. Now I sleep good and I miss a lot of trains. You're standing in the station, I can see you in my mind. You think that I'll forgive again, but you're so wrong this time. Your sleepless eyes and selfish heart are waiting there in vain, while I sleep good and miss a lot of trains. I sleep good and I miss a lot of trains. That one-way track with no man's love, I'll never ride again. I used to lie awake like you, calling out your name. Now I sleep good and I miss a lot of trains. Now I sleep good and I miss a lot of trains.
LEs all over the world are mainly happy to talk. This UP LE was very friendly.
Well, the workers on the SP lines to strike sent out a call, but Casey Jones, the engineer, he wouldn't strike at all. His boiler, it was leaking, and his engine's on the bum, and his drivers and his parent, they were all out of plumb. Casey Jones kept his junk pile running. Casey Jones, he's working double time. Casey Jones, he got a wooden medal for being good and faithful to the SP line. Well, the worker said to Casey, won't you help us win the strike? But Casey Jones said, let me alone, you better take a hike. And someone put a railroad tie right across the track, and Casey hit the river with an awful crack. Casey Jones hit the river bottom. Casey Jones, he broke his blooming spine. Casey Jones, he became an Angelino. He took a trip to heaven on the SP line. Well, Casey Jones got up to heaven to the pearly gate. He said, I'm Casey Jones, the guy that pulled the SP freight. You're just the man, said St. Peter. Our musicians, they're on strike. You can get a job of scabbing anytime you like. Casey Jones got a job in heaven. Casey Jones, he's doing mighty fine. Casey Jones went scabbing on the angels just like he did to workers on the SP line. Well, the angels got together and they said it wasn't fair for Casey Jones to go around a scabbing everywhere. And Angels Union number 23, they sure were there. They promptly fired Casey down the golden stairs. Casey Jones went to hell a-flying. Casey Jones, well, the devil said, oh, fine. Casey Jones, get busy shoveling sulfur. That's what you get for scabbing on the SP line.
Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train? When I was just a boy, living by the track, us kids that gather up the coal in a big old gunny sack. Then we heard the warning sound as the train pulled into view. The engineer would smile and wave as she went rolling through. She blew so loud and clear, we had to cover up our ears. And we counted cars just as high as we could go. I can almost hear the steam and the big old driver scream with a sound my little boy will never know. Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train? I guess the times have changed. Kids are different now. Some don't even seem to know that milk comes from a cow. My little boy can tell the names of all the baseball stars. I remember how we memorized the names on railroad cars. The Wabash and the TP, Lackawanna and the IC, yeah, the nickel plate, the good old Santa Fe. Just names out of the past, I guess they're fading fast. Every time I hear my little boy say, Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can ride? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train? We climbed into the car and drove down into town, right up to the depot house, but no one was around. We searched the yard together for something I could show, but I knew there hadn't been a train for a dozen years or so. All the things I did when I was just a kid, how far away those old memories appear. I guess it's plain to see they still mean a lot to me, 'cause my ambition was to be an engineer. Daddy, what's a train? Is it something I can write? Does it carry lots of grown-up folks and little kids inside? Is it bigger than our house? Well, how can I explain when my little boy asked me, Daddy, what's a train?
Throw mama from the train a kiss, a kiss. Wave mama from the train a goodbye. Throw mama from the train a kiss, a kiss. And don't cry, my baby, don't cry. How I miss that sweet lady with her old country touch. Miss her quaint broken English called Pennsylvania Dutch. I can still see her there at the station that day, calling out to her baby as the train pulled away. Throw mama from the train a kiss, a kiss. Dry mama all your tears, won't you try? Throw mama from the train a kiss, a kiss. And eat mama up all her pie. Can't believe that she's gone now. It's a lonely old town. Yet I know that her heavenly love keeps looking down. 'Cause whenever I happen to be passing through, I could swear she was there with the warmth I once knew. And I throw mama from the train a kiss, a kiss. Wave mama from the train a goodbye. Throw mama from the train a kiss, a kiss. And she throws one back from up high.
There was a little railroad train with loads and loads of toys, all starting out to find a home with little girls and boys. And as the little railroad train began to chug along, the little engine up in front was heard to sing this song. Choo-choo, 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 I feel so good today. Oh, clear the track, oh, clickety-clack, I'll go my merry way. The little train went roaring on so fast it seemed to fly, until it reached a mountain rising almost to the sky. The little engine moaned and groaned and huffed and puffed away, but halfway to the top it just gave up and seemed to say, I can't go on, I can't go on, I'm weary as can be. I can't go on, I can't go on, this job is not for me. The toys got out to push, but all in vain, alas, alack. And then a great big engine came a-whistling down the track. They asked if it would kindly pull them up the mountainside, but with a high and mighty sneer it scornfully replied, don't bother me to pull the likes of you. Don't bother me, I've better things to do. The boys all started crying 'cause that engine was so mean. And then there came another one, the smallest ever seen. But though it seemed that she could hardly pull herself along, she hitched on to the train, and as she pulled, she sang this song. I think I can, I think I can, I think I have a plan, and I can do most anything if I only think I can. Then up that great big mountain went the cars all full of toys, and soon they reached the waiting arms of happy girls and boys. And though that ends the story, it will do you lots of good to take a lesson from the little engine that could. Just think you can, just think you can, just have that understood. And very soon you'll start to say, I always knew I could. I knew I could, 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 I knew I could.
I was right at number 9, heading south from Caroline. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. Got in trouble, had to roam, left my gal and left my home. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. Just a kid acting smart, I went and broke my darling's heart. I guess I was too young to know. They took me off the Georgia main, locked me to a ball and chain. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. All alone I bear the shame. I'm a number, not a name. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. All I do is sit and cry when the evening train goes by. I heard that lonesome whistle blow. I'll be locked here in the cell till my body's just a shell, and my hair turns whiter than the snow. I'll never see that gal of mine. Lord, I'm in Georgia doing time. I heard that lonesome whistle blow.
She's on a bar hopping spree back in Sault Ste. Marie. Because of me, she's now a fallen star. She could have been true, but I left her in the Sioux, and I traveled north upon the ACR. But if it's go home or be a roamer, I've made up my mind. So take me home tonight, Algoma Central 69. I was working one day when I heard this fella say he met my girl while drinking at the bar. Though we fought between us two, still he swore that it was true. Now I curse that day I rode the ACR. But if it's go home or be a roamer, I've made up my mind. So take me home tonight, Algoma Central 69. Though it might be in vain, here I wait for the train. I hope it's not too late to right the wrong. When she rolls around the bend, we'll be southbound again. Come on, old AC, our wheels move along. She's on a bar hopping spree back in Sault Ste. Marie. Because of me, she's now a fallen star. She could have been true, but I left her in the Sioux, and I traveled north upon the ACI. But if it's go home or be a roamer, I've made up my mind. So take me home tonight, Algoma Central 69. Take me home tonight, Algoma Central 69.
Terrain in the rain is my claim to fame since I broke the chain, the shack on my brain to that woman insane way back in Duquesne, Pennsylvania. But my only regret is that I can't forget all the outstanding debts that she ain't paid yet, and that fussy brunette who always said don't sweat the small stuff. So I ride in the rain on this big old train like a man with no name, and my language profane, cause my only domain is this freight to Monterey, California. With the rain on my face, with the wind in the chase, it's an open shut case. I'm a happy disgrace to the life I misplaced way back in Duquesne, Pennsylvania. A woman untrue is a hard bite to chew, and the feeling was new, but I knew what to do, so I quickly withdrew, cause a woman's voodoo can detain you. Yes, a word of advice is enough to suffice, and I won't say it twice, even though she seems nice. It's a big sacrifice, just one toss of the dice can restrain you. So heed my request, use the utmost finesse on the girl statuesque, enjoy her caress, but don't be outguessed, for she may distress and defame you. Now you've heard my claim, and there's more of the same. It's a heck of a shame, but you can't win the game, so we'll ride in the rain on this train from Duquesne, Pennsylvania. A terrain in the rain is my claim to fame since I broke the chain that shack on my brain to that woman insane way back in Duquesne, Pennsylvania. But my only regret is that I can't forget all the outstanding debts that she ain't paid yet, and that fuzzy brunette who always said don't sweat the small stuff. So I ride in the
Life is like a mountain railroad with an engineer that's brave. We must make the run successful from the cradle to the grave.
Watch the curves, the fields and farms, never falter, never fail. Keep your hand upon the throttle and your eyes upon the rail. Blessed Savior, will guide us. Shore.
It was back, I remember, in 33 when the great Jimmy Rogers inspired me to start moving on, start rolling on. Said they can't do you wrong if you don't stay too long, so keep a moving on. You know the famous Jimmy, well, he's dead and gone, and my friend Hank Williams, he sung his song, but they both moved on. Yes, they're done long gone. But this old country train is still throwing its flames, still moving on. Keep that old piano moving on. From the country fairs to the honky tonks, I played my old guitar and I've sung my songs. I kept them moving on, didn't stay too long. Just stay long enough so I can sing 'em my stuff and keep 'em moving on. Now that outlaw music's got a real good beat, and the new country pop, I gotta say it is sweet, it keeps you moving on. I ain't a saying it's wrong, but when it's all disappeared, you're gonna find me right here still moving on. On the top of the charts, I used to ride with the wind to the #1 spot. I'm gonna make it again, I'll keep it moving on, keep a singing my song. Through the blues and the soul, through the rock and the roll, I'll keep it moving on. Yeah, talk to me, guitar. Tell 'em about me. Well, I see my old buddies and they're just sitting there rocking away in that old rocking chair while I'm a-moving on, just rolling on. They've shifted to low, but I'm still on the go and still a-moving on. So let the big wheels roll and let that rattler shake. This old singing ranger ain't intending to break. I'm still moving on, still a-singing my song. And my old gravy train is still throwing its flames, still moving on.
Sunshine round the bend, winding through the trees like a ribbon in the wind. I don't mind not knowing what lies down the track, 'cause I'm looking out ahead to keep my mind from turning back. It's not the first time I found myself alone at dawn. If I really had you once, then I'd still have you when I'm gone. Whistle blowing, blowing lonesome in my mind, calling me along that never-ending double line. Steel rails, chasing sunshine round the bend, winding through the trees like a ribbon in the wind. I don't mind not knowing what lies down the track, 'cause I'm looking out ahead to keep my mind from turning back.
shining through the open boxcar door, lying in my mind with the things I've known before. And I've lost count of all the hours and days and time. Just the rhythm of the rails keeps the motion in my mind. Steel rails chasing sunshine round the bend, winding through the trees like a ribbon in the wind. I don't mind not knowing what lies down the track, 'cause I'm looking out ahead to keep my mind from turning back. 'Cause I'm looking out ahead to keep my mind from turning back.
For the dance on the ceiling and the dance on the wall at the Gandy Dancers Ball. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing a pretty girl around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. A Gandy dancer is a railroad man and his work is never done. There's picking his shovel in his willing hand, he makes the railroad run. There's Mackinac Mac and Toledo Jack and the boys from Idaho, and the Frisco Kid and Saginaw Sid and good old Cotton Eye Joe. Oh, the dance on the ceiling and the dance on the wall at the Gandy Dancers Ball. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing a pretty girl around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. The boys will gather at the great affair, the Gandy Dancers Ball, kissing their ladies with perfumed hair and a prancing round the hall. They got the biggest band in all the land, and the rhythm rocks the room. And they holler out with a mighty shout when the big bass drum goes boom. Oh, the dance on the ceiling and the dance on the wall at the Gandy Dancers Ball. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing a pretty girl around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. The railroads bring 'em to the great affair, the Gandy Dancers Ball. And every liner's represented there, the big ones and the small. There's the MKT and the old SP and the Lehigh Valley too. The CNJ, the Santa Fe, the Southern and the Sioux. Oh, the dance on the ceiling and the dance on the wall at the Gandy Dancers Ball. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. Swing around, swing around, swing around the Jimmy John. Swing a pretty girl around the Jimmy, Jimmy John. They dance all day and they dance all night. They all dance till the broad daylight at the Gandy Dancers Ball.
I lost all my money in a crooked poker game. Now I'm going home on this old freight train. I got the boxcar blues, shuffle on down the track. I got the boxcar blues, and Lord, I may never get back. Well, I am so lonely, I think I could die. These ain't cinders, they're tears in my eyes. I got the boxcar blues, shuffle on down the track. I got the boxcar blues, and Lord, I may never get back. Little blues now. I dream of my big bed, biscuits in the pan. I dream of my woman with another man. I got the boxcar blues, shuffle on down the track. I got the boxcar blues, and thought I may never get back. When I get back home, I'll get down on my knees. I'll beg to my woman, have a little mercy, please. I got the boxcar blues, shuffle on down the track. I got the boxcar blues, and thought I may never get back. A little more picking now. It just ain't so. There ain't no easy life for a poor hobo. I got the boxcar blues, shuffle on down the track. I got the boxcar blues, thought I may never get back. Now listen to me, brother, and take my advice. Stay away from trains and them loaded dice. You'll get the boxcar blues, you shuffle on down the track. You'll get the boxcar blues, thought you may never get back. You'll get the boxcar blues, thought you may never get back.
Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train he's on. Won't you tell me where he's gone? Don't know where he's heading for, what he's done against the law. Got no future, got no hope, just nothing but the road. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train he's on. Won't you tell me where he's gone? He lost his reason, lost his life. He killed his friend in mortal strife. He must be moving like the rolling skies, just a waiting till he died. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train he's on. Won't you tell me where he's gone? When he dies, just bury him please, way down the end of Old Chestnut Street. Poplars at his head and feet, and tell them he's gone to sleep. Freight train, going so fast. Freight train, going so fast. I don't know what train he's on. Won't you tell me where he's gone?
I used to be a railroad bum, a living on the go. I rode freights from Canada down to Mexico, from sunny Cal to Minnesota, where the rippling waters fall. I never seemed to have a dime, but I had myself a ball, singing hi-lee, hi-lo, hee-la-lee-la-lo. I used to be a railroad bum, but I'm not anymore. I walked in the Silver Dollar in Reno one night. I dropped a quarter and I won a bandit. The lemons lined up right. Took my winnings, then played poker and I won 10,000 more. I used to be a railroad bum, but I'm not anymore. Singing hi-lee, hi-lo, hee-la-la-lee-la-lo. I used to be a railroad bum, but I'm not anymore. 'cause I get restless when I'm still. I guess I always will. Wanna keep traveling all my life over another hill, singing high, high, low, hee-la-la-lee-la-low. I used to be a railroad bum, but I'm not anymore.